What's up, my athletes? That's right, Mr. Muscarella coming at you. And in this video, we're going to take a look at a couple of examples for reviewing special right triangles. That's right, the 45, 45, 90 and the 30, 60, 90. So let's just kind of also review what those ratios are going to look like. So when you're dealing with the 45, 45, 90 triangle, and I'm just going to draw it kind of upright like this. So 45 degrees is in one of the angles. That's one way you might see it represented, or you might see both of the legs with a little hash mark by it. So that's 45 degrees. The two legs are going to be the same, because remember from geometry, if two angles are the same, then the sides opposite them are the same. So they're both going to have a ratio of 1, and then the hypotenuse, which is across from the right angle, will have a ratio of square root of 2. So with that said, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Check this out. If I know that this leg right here, so I'm giving this leg is 5, and that's where the spot is 1. And so that means this other spot, this N over here, that's going to be the same exact thing. No big deal. So N is also going to have a length of 5. Now to figure out how long the hypotenuse is, or M, that's going to be square root of 2 times as long as one of the legs. So 5 times square root of 2 just gives you 5 square roots of 2. That's it. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. All right, now in this one, we've got a hypotenuse. So this one, we're starting off with the hypotenuse in this one. So when you're given the hypotenuse, then that means you're going to have to go backwards. So if I know I have a hypotenuse of 3, so the hypotenuse is 3, what I need to do to find either x or y, because they're both going to be the same thing, because they're legs. So what I'm going to do is take the hypotenuse, whatever that is, and I'm going to divide it by square root of 3, or square root of 2, sorry. But we're not going to just divide by square root of 2, because that's not good. So we have to rationalize that. When you rationalize function, that means you can't have a square root on the bottom. So you'd multiply top and the bottom by square root of 2, which means you're going to have the hypotenuse times square root of 2, all that over 2, or half of the hypotenuse divided by, or times square root of 2. So if I take the hypotenuse, that is going to be square root of 3 divided by 2, so half the hypotenuse, and then square root of 2. So that would be the value for both x and y. So both of those are going to have the same value. You just take your hypotenuse, multiply it by square root of 2, and then divide it by 2. And that's all you got to do for that one. So when you got the hypotenuse, that's the formula that you kind of use for that. And then examples 3 and 4, now we're going to take a look at the 30, 60, 90 triangle. And these ones are a little bit more complex because our legs aren't all the same. So I'm going to put it 30 degrees right there. And across from the 30, that's going to have a ratio of 1. And the hypotenuse is 2. Now the hypotenuse, that part's always going to be the same. And then the 1, where that is often going to be called the short leg. Because of the two angles, 30 and 60, 30 degrees is less than 60. So 60 degrees is going to be up in that other spot. And across from that, that is going to have a ratio of square root of 3. So that is going to be called the long leg. So those are going to be the names of the legs, and you'll hear that referred to over and over and over again. Now, when I take a look at the part that I have, so it's really important, when you have 60, across from that right here, that's the long leg. I'm going to just abbreviate that, LL for long leg. And that means 30 degrees is over here in that spot, so that means B is going to be my short leg. And then the A, that's going to be my hypotenuse. All right, that's going to be the hypotenuse. Now, the key is to get back to the short leg. So when I go from short leg to long leg, when I go from here to here, I just multiply by square root of 3. All right, so I already did that, so now I have to go backwards. And the opposite of multiplying by square root of 3, of course, is dividing by square root of 3. So to figure out what B is, side B, because that's my short leg, I would take 7 square root of 3 over 2, and I would divide that by square root of 3, or multiply that by 1 over square root of 3. Because that's the same thing. Now notice it's real nice here, it's really convenient, so those square root of 3's would just cancel out, in which case we would get 7 over 2. So that's the value of A. Now when I go from the short leg to the hypotenuse, so to figure out how long A is, I'm going to take the value of B, the short leg, whatever that is. In this case, it's 7 halves. I'm going to take that value and double it. I'm going to multiply that by 2, because that's the trig ratio, or the ratio for the side. So the short leg, to go from there to the hypotenuse, you just double it. And that's kind of nice too, because these 2's will cancel out, and you'll just be left with plain old 7. So those are going to be the values for sides A and B. So that's a 30, 60, 90. Then we got one more spot right here. And this one's going to be a little bit nicer to work with because we just have a plain old integer for the hypotenuse. So I got to identify where the short leg and long leg are. So I'm going to go ahead and do those real quick. So across from the 30, that's where they're going to be short leg. So that's going to be right there. And long leg is going to be right here. So that means the value of the short leg, I'm just going to take the hypotenuse. So the short leg is going to be the hypotenuse divided by 2, which just gives me 4. No big deal. And then to figure out how long A is, how long that long leg is, I'm just going to take the short leg, which in this case has a value of 4. And I'm going to multiply that by square root of 3. And when you multiply that together, you just get 4 square roots of 3. So that's a really quick review on the special right triangles, the 45, 45, 90, and the 30, 60, 90. Thank you guys for watching. Make it a great day. I'll catch you later. Peace out.